effectively. I mean, he is wearing sunglasses.
I am wearing sunglasses.
You know what I love about our placement at this table?
I'm pretty cool.
Tag teaming this guy.
Dude.
You're about to get fucked up.
Well, put the glasses back on, man.
Please,
glasses,
please, God.
So
Seriously though, can you?
No, this is amazing
can you?
thing. So I'm
So let's talk about it, right? We're
right.
calling it. Can you recite? Follow after me. You
yes,
ready?
Sir.
Are you
yes,
ready
sir.
for this?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Money walks,
Money walks,
bullshit talks.
bullshit talks.
Oh, you cursed on air, sir.
I gave it.
All right, so why though, right? Can you explain
so-
it? I want to know how you would explain the title
Let's
of
first
said podcast.
I can't. So my.
Address who came up with this name.
So
Yeah.
I did not come up
Oh, you
with
want
this
to
name.
you want a pat on the back?
I do.
You want a pat on the
I want a
mic?
physical pat on the back.
Dude,
yes.
this is Jason, real quick.
Yeah. Well, let's let
And
the
I'll
person
give you
who
my girl version. I say girl.
everything you say is definitely a feminine version,
Dude,
but
I have a baby girl now. You don't have a girl.
that's
so-
awesome, and I
does.
respect
I
you
got
for
two.
it. So, Jason, you did come up with this name. So, explain what it means. What's it mean to us, and why?
All right. Yeah, please.
Well, everybody's heard the cliche money talks, bullshit walks.
True.
Meaning you put the money on the table or
Walk,
GTFO.
get
right?
out, right?
Get.
all right.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay. I like it.
the reasoning behind the money talks or money walks and bullshit talks is because we're really good at starting businesses and making the money go bye
That
bye.
is-
Watching money walk
and
away.
that-
bullshitting
was-
our way through it until we get halfway back to normal.
Okay, so that is the perfect. So, if you guys didn't know, so I own Broken Arrow Brewing Company.
Who are you talking to?
he keeps bringing. Is there
So yeah, it's a brewing.
a,
Crazy.
it's our favorite brewing company in the Tulsa area. So,
It's
Give us
in
the
Broken
background
Arrow.
behind
Hey, the first Broken Arrow brewery ever. So yes, toot toot. I'll toot my own horn. But when I met these dudes, so Jason and Brad, I'm like, hey,
You got our
we have
names right,
business.
so
I did.
things
I
are looking good.
I pointed
Looking
it,
didn't even have a
pointed
cue
to
card.
that
You need to
one.
write
So, he's got
I had it ready, but
Yes.
yes.
So tell us, man. Tell
No.
us what was behind.
When
tell us about Babco.
So Babco, so Broken Arrow Brewing Company, we started. Man, it was a love affair of awesome homebrew. You know,
Mhm.
I homebrewed for a long time.
So you've been
and
brewing for how long before you actually
So
started? the
when
brewery?
I had my first beer, and I'm weird because
7, 8 years old.
Well, you've met my father, so yes, you know that sounds like it's pretty true. but believe it or not, I had I didn't drink my first beer until my junior year of high school. So, but after that, the next year, my older brother is like, dude, and it was a Sam Adams Boston Lager. So, try that. I'm like, beer could taste like this, and it's from that I started brewing beer, and I was
Nice.
19, almost 20. And I mean, I never drank it, but I started brewing when I was 19. Because
Yeah.
if you drink it, it's illegal. I never do that.
You can't break the law.
Obviously,
That would be.
I mean, it's,
You can't do that.
we're all a lot. I was kidding.
I was like, the funny thing
it
is, he
was-
didn't actually look at a camera that time. It was literally between two cameras.
No, it was fun, but I started brewing beer, and you know it was.
So you're 19, you brew your first batch. What was it? Do you remember?
Yeah. So my first batch I ever brewed was you pour water in from High Gravity. They had
There's water
something
in
to
beer?
make.
I'm
They
learning
had
things.
they had a pack that you could add water to and boil, and so I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that.
But
I'm
what
the
was the
best.
what type? What type of beer was your
It
very
was,
first?
it was either going to be a brown ale or barley, a barley wine.
Ah,
So barley wine, it was, hey, do this, don't add this much water, do this, and it was the first time I ever heard bottles explode. It's at my parents' house. You know, I was 19
Whoops.
after, and I just heard poof, poof. I'm like, oh, what? is my dad doing something weird? Nope, it was just me brewing beer. So it was
Good chance though.
Yeah, it was definitely a good chance.
So that actually, I would surprised you didn't say Hefeweizen. So what I consider the best Hefeweizen I've ever had to be Broken Arrow Brewing Companies, and a couple
100%.
others. And Jason's not a beer drinker, and we talked about this early on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we met. Number one, I called on you guys, but then I started coming in and just drinking the Hefeweizen.
You
and
would
then,
not leave.
Well,
No, you,
that's how I
you
met him
came
too.
in.
It's crazy.
We no.
it's called, hey, it's called sales, guys.
No, yeah.
Try it sometime.
Brad came in and we said, "Hey, dude, if you want to see how it's gonna cost, like, or not cost, but
That's not how it went down.
No, it's like,
tell
hey,
the
you wanna
circle jerk
brew?
story. Just do it. Put it out there in the world.
hey, you help us brew this beer, we'll hook you up." And Brad was there. It was crazy. But
circle jerk.
yeah, it was crazy.
And it wasn't a true circle jerk though.
That's very.
That doesn't
yeah.
have the same.
Is
thing
there a
to it.
limit? Or,
So he knew
question.
the bullshit. That's where the
Triangle jerk.
bullshit
It doesn't sound
happened.
the same.
Well, because Brad's like, "Hey, I do."
That's just an awkward three-way.
I
at
do
that point.
T-shirts and stickers. I'm like, oh, Brad does T-shirts and stickers. Cool for you. And yeah, it was like a couple weeks.
Match made in heaven, and then
And then he
we slept
started
together.
coming and started playing
That's
this
the best part about this is you can
dice
say
game
stuff over
with
here.
us.
They can hear it, but Austin just keeps on going.
No, that's exactly what happened. So it's
so match made it. I mean, honestly, that's where it started, and then we started working together, became friends,
Well, I
and,
wanna hear
and just
more of
have continued.
the progression here. So you're 19, you
yeah.
made your barley wine, it exploded all over the house.
so I
didn't give up.
my father-in-law.
Maybe he should have though.
My father-in-law, who is a owner of the brewery, Broken Arrow Brewing Company.
What brewery?
Like, we're Broken Arrow Brewing Company.com.
.com.
No, it was we were driving down to Dallas to go to a guitar show because I love playing guitar.
And your dad's
Hey,
a
you're
very accomplished guitarist.
Father-in-law.
father-in-law
Father-in-law,
is
father-in-law,
amazing
yeah.
guy. But we went and
Which not to throw you off here,
no, go
but
ahead.
we do plan on having him on here. We'll talk about that later.
100%. Papa King Snake. So
Papa King Snake.
All right,
So, but yeah, we,
You're on your
we
way
drove
down.
down there and we went to it and he goes, "You know what? We should start a brewery." So, yeah, hey man, we started.
how old were you when this happened?
I was
So
What?
For,
oh yeah.
there were
It's
6
when
years in there that you just kept brewing at home.
Well, we just tried and like I was home brewing and doing that, but
Did
yeah.
you ever work at another brewery or anything like that?
I was fortunate enough to meet people in the brewing industry and got to brew in Portland, Oregon, and San Diego.
Is that in California?
California.
Okay.
So
Portland,
the
Oh, well, I was just wondering.
No,
I was wondering which San Diego. So.
San Diego.
San Diego.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
No, it was crazy. I mean, like, so Oklahoma's like the last like brewing frontier. So it's like, hey, we could have these. Hey, we're gonna do this, blah blah blah, do that. But that's when I met you, awesome dudes. It's like our first year anniversary. We had, 3,000 people out there plus, and you guys were out there
Festival.
slinging axe. Yeah, throwing axe and
Slanging
that was
'em.
a cool thing on our video. So
That's JJ, by the way, the one that did that.
JJ at content
Yeah,
services.
JJ's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna try to get him on as well. But
100%.
he's the one that did the video from the
call that a
first
segue.
Like when
Festival.
he,
Very
we
nice.
threw the axe and like it went.
Was that a weird
and,
wink? I was like. So yeah, we went from there. We've all worked together, but that's a great introduction. Your love for homebrew and beers and honestly, like
craft beer and friendship. Like,
no bullshit. Like if he wasn't putting out amazing beer, and I say this, like obviously I give you a lot of shit, but I say this, that
You're not-
Hefeweizen really is what kept me coming back, and
yeah.
So Jason,
Yes.
all right, you explained the name. So give us some background on you.
Oh man.
So, got what?
I mean, Jason's the old guy, so he's got a lot.
Old
of
man,
background.
you're old man here.
Hey, just a heads up, Jason. We only have about
35
minutes, so that's less than your years.
I need to leave in about 20 minutes if I'm going to hit Denny's early bird. So let's wrap this shit up and let's go.
Yes.
So no, it's amazing. Jason, like when I met you and Brad, like, dude, this is your passion. You're doing axe throwing, and we'll get to Brad here, but yeah, please tell us how you.
Jason
started.
has a lot before that even came about, which is pretty
You're
interesting.
the Godfather.
Yeah. You know, I say this a lot to a lot of my employees and stuff. You know, well, how do I start a business? I want to start a business. And I tell them a lot that you still got time. They're 29, 30 years old, and they've got 10 years of messing up before they could even get going and still be fine. I've been a small business owner for most of my adult life, but the axe throwing is only in the last 3.5 to 4 years of my life. Before that, it was other things. And I worked what I call a corporate job. Even though it was working for myself, it felt very corporate in freight brokerage and logistics. It's very boring to people that don't even know what it is.
It has to happen.
But it's very stressful when you're in it, and you can do really well for yourself, and I was doing really well for myself, but I hated that person that I was. Just a lot of hours.
You had to change.
Hey, we're not supposed to cry on this podcast, so if you just keep
I
it.
wouldn't cry.
So the person you were doing that, was it more, hey, you gotta do this, or I gotta let you go, or
Was it the stress? Was it the what?
Yeah,
was it?
definitely the stress. I've always been what I call eternally optimistic, and I'm pretty good at pushing away the bad thoughts and remaining positive in almost
That
any
makes
situation.
one of us.
In almost any situation. But yes, the stress was just unrelenting. In brokerage, any kind of brokerage, whether it be stocks or insurance or anything,
right?
You're basically a middleman. You don't have a product. You provide a service connecting people that have product to people that need the product. Right. So you're a middleman. You're in control of nothing. But in the customer's eyes, you're responsible for everything. So
you've
face. Got this constant pressure to perform when you have nothing to do with the performance.
So that's
and you're putting that pressure on your vendors while trying to maintain the relationship because you're going to need them.
And even sometimes, like if it's a weekend, like hey, Friday we're doing this, it's on you right now. Now we're like,
if you throw up in this podcast,
no, I'm saying I'm feeling this so much. It's just like I felt so much, and like hey, we got. Website
if someone doesn't show
coming in like hey you have to do that like it's
so I kind of specialized in moving raw materials and equipment to and from Mexico mostly to the auto manufacturers in Mexico.
You got if something didn't happen
absolutely they would talk about
your week.
Every week they talk about a plant shutdown. If we didn't get this, the plant was going to shut down, and that means 3,000 people are sitting there with something to do. That costs us $1 million a minute, blah blah blah.
That we'll get to this point multiple times, but we all have kids. And you don't have a daughter.
This is something coming out of left field.
Your shit's really boring. We're going to speed it
so
up.
Go so Austin the Hook over here.
I'm just saying.
So the short version. Freight brokerage, and then I went into owning my own freight brokerage. Working for myself gave me a little more freedom. I did it. I had an office in Bixby for years, but I was basically by myself. Even though I'd hire and lose employees time to time, I felt
that's the soft way of saying fire.
Yeah. Sometimes they just wouldn't show back up. That happened a lot, actually.
I understand.
But I got a little more freedom within myself to express myself more, so I started growing my facial hair out more, getting tattoos that were visible.
Yeah, he did.
If you look at pictures of me 10 years ago, you can't see any tattoos on my arms, and my beard was what you...
It's
not
a
beard.
Don't even, you know.
It was shorter than this one,
not a beard.
For sure. But as I got a little more freedom, started growing out my beard. This would have been like 2014.
So
I got into making beard oils on a whim.
How long you been married?
It will be 9 years. I don't know what left turn this took, but
She stuck with you doing this?
Hey, Mike, what would it take for me to get you to choke him out? Because I got like a $5. I mean, would that be enough?
But hey, I gotta say, like, you've been married for a long time. You too. Hey, if it wasn't for our wives, yeah, you guys will punch me.
Where is this going? Because I've got a lot of different things at this point.
I'm just saying, hey, shout out to our wives, and if it wasn't for wives, we love our kids. Number one.
Who are you looking at again? Emily is not standing over there, bro.
I just had it. Hey,
what's going on?
Red Bull. All of you guys should. Hey, both of you shut up. Hey, we love you guys.
So Jason,
all of you invisible people over there.
Jason, you sold the brokerage, correct?
So no,
the freight brokerage. Or no?
I started the beard company while I was doing the brokerage. Right. I had bought another brand of beard oil online that I saw on Instagram or something, and you read about it. I'd never used beard oil before, and that was kind of the beard boom, the renaissance of the hipster and all that jazz. But
Mike's right there. You can't talk about Mike like that. Boom, Mike.
No, obviously Boom, Mike. I have no beard. Gross undercut here, but yes, no.
So I ordered an ounce of beard oil, which is the standard, the industry standard, but it's $17.95 plus like $3 shipping. So $22. It shows up 4 or 5 days later in the mail, and I get it and I open it up, and an ounce is kind of underwhelming, right? And that's an ounce.
Oh yeah.
And I thought.
This is an ounce.
Yeah.
This.
that right there.
is an ounce.
That's an ounce, yeah.
And I thought, $21 for that. There's no way that's $21 worth of product, right? So I did 2 minutes of research on YouTube of how to make your own beard oil.
Is that because Google wasn't out yet?
Google was a thing, but I still used Metacrawler. Thank you.
Yo, fuck, no, I'm just kidding.
In my AOL dial-up service. This was 2014, mind you. And so I did a little research, found out how simple it was. I ordered $400 of raw materials to make my first batch of beard oil and beard balm. Settled on a name and threw up a little Etsy shop with zero expectation. And within about 2 weeks, I was sending out multiple orders.
Dude,
and
that's amazing.
Thought this was great. And Instagram was kind of in its infancy too, right? And I started an Instagram page.
Dude,
and started getting really good organic following. Within a week, I was at 1,500 followers. And, in a month, I'm at 2,500.
Why do you think that happened?
What are you looking at?
Why did you think that would happen?
A lot of, one,
you're like,
my tenacity to literally leap before I look in almost every situation. Brad can attest to this too. Yeah. And it's worked out for me a lot. It really has. It's worked out for me a lot. And then I've been bitten on the ass several times too, but it was also really good timing. A lot like what happened in the axe throwing. I had good timing in an emerging industry. Yeah. And within 6 months, I had 20,000 Instagram followers.
Wow.
And I was sending out 200 orders a week.
Dude, I'm taking these glasses off right now.
Can you
everything you touch
undo that? Can you put them back on?
I can.
That'd be great. Thanks.
That is not true. I could tell you some stories from my 20s.
All right, whatever. Rude. Everybody's.
Anyway, next.
Brad's super rude.
But
we'll do it. No,
so
dude,
Bedlam.
the way you've handled like what you've done has been amazing. Like so I'm a 300-pound idiot. Like
agreed.
Yeah,
totally agreed.
I almost think
period.
But hey, it's
I'm right there. I'm right
but
there.
Brad and I, we've been you reached out to Babco like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was literally parked in your parking lot.
It was a weird, like, you just did something, and then we hung out, and I'm like, okay, I guess he's okay.
Were you
Wow,
either
this guy's
stalking them,
this
or
guy's
were-
fucking
He was
awesome.
He was stalking me, yes. But
I was trying to bring a client over and have lunch there because I thought they
it
served
was
lunch.
Yeah, that's right.
They did not serve lunch, so we went and had lunch,
liquid
and
lunch.
then finished. Well, we went and had lunch, and then after that meeting, I came back over and I called, and they were actually back in the office.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're like, "Yeah, come on back," and I just walked back, and
Yeah, and that's
This is-
where you're like, oh,
I
Brad's.
feel like circle jerk would be like
Brad's
too many times
okay.
in one podcast to say, but.
I don't
No,
know if
Brad
there's a limit,
was-
but I'm pretty sure we're there. We're close.
So Jason, so you're working through, you're growing the business like crazy.
Yeah,
Social media booms for you.
Yes. My wife was in college at the time. She was going back to pursue her teaching degree, and she was working at a gym, a local gym. So working full time and going to college full time. So I had
This segment sponsored by Lifetime Fitness.
it was Lifetime Fitness.
Not yet.
Yeah, we lived in
well,
Bixby.
yeah.
It was Lifetime Fitness actually, but she worked there and went to school full time. Pulled a 4.2 and Dean's honor roll, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So she had concerns as far as I was wanting to get out of the brokerage and do beard care full time, and obviously she had concerns. So I kind of, as much of a plan that I could put together, because I'm not a big planner.
It was on a
Shocking.
napkin. It was
Yeah.
literally on a napkin in pencil.
That gives me
not
too much
pen.
credit. That gives me way too much credit. But I told her if I could show 6 months of growth and profit, that I would consider selling out of the brokerage and getting into beard oil full time. And my shop went live on Etsy in February of 2015, and we had that conversation in August of 2015, exactly 6 months later. So I got out of the brokerage and started doing the beard oil pretty much full time. I was still doing some consulting and stuff in the brokerage, but definitely the beard oil had taken off. I was well over 20,000 followers on Instagram, which was a great base.
Yeah.
17, 18,000.
Still is,
on-
especially at that
That's
time, though.
awesome.
yeah, 17, 18,000 on Facebook, and Snapchat was around at that time, which I didn't know how to use, but I had like 5,500.
I don't even know
Yeah.
what that is.
5,500 followers on Snapchat. TikTok wasn't really a thing then, but
Right.
yeah, the beard care just kind of exploded to where I was one of the top brands, non-corporate brands in the segment. I had like 21, 22 cents at that time. Was expanding into the EDC carry, everyday carry,
Mhm.
gear,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
making bottle openers and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. And did that for a couple of years. And through that process on Instagram, I met up with a local knife maker, Felix, who's also going to be a guest on
Absolutely.
our show later.
nice.
We ran in the same social media circles, right? And he made a post and tagged it somewhere in Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, wait, you're in Broken Arrow. I'm in Sapulpa at that time. We should meet up. And so we met at Panera Bread there on,
Yeah.
That's where it all goes down.
yeah.
They're so
whatever
good.
Street that is in Broken Arrow. I don't know Broken
so
Arrow Street, but we met there at Panera Bread. Kind of formed a little friendship. I started going over. He was making knives out of his garage, and I started going over there, hanging out on the weekends, helping him make knives, and just kind of learning.
That's
And
awesome.
his business was kind of on that same arc as mine. We actually kind of raced on Instagram to see who could hit certain milestones
Yeah.
first and whatnot. And it was at my house. It was to the point where my office was full. I had taken over my daughter who had just moved to college. Her bedroom was full of stuff. My other daughter's bedroom was starting to become storage. My wife's office was starting to become storage
man.
to where my wife was like, dude, get out the house,
Yeah.
So I approached Felix with the
Yeah.
idea of getting a warehouse and splitting the overhead to where we could both work from this space, but have half of the costs, the overhead. We had no real intention of starting a store.
Right.
But the space that we found and settled on was 103 East Main, right down the street.
Right.
Shout out, Jinx.
Yeah.
Hashtag Jinx.
When we saw the space, it had a great little warehouse space, but it had a little bitty retail front on it. So we decided to not only team up with our respective businesses to rent the space, but we formed an LLC to make a retail store up front called Beard and Blade. Since
Nice. Yeah.
I sold
Yeah.
beard stuff, and he made knives. We started a little store called Beard and Blade right there on Jinx, which is Got Wood Axe Throwing now. And did that for about a year and a half, and retail just, it's a hard go. Retail's a hard go.
There's a small global pandemic, but...
Yeah, this was well before the pandemic. This
was? Okay.
Yeah, 2016, 2017.
Gotcha.
Retail was just a hard go. We called upon a lot of people we knew within our industries to get product in the store.
Right.
Borrowed money from friends to get it going, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just squeaking by. We were working really hard to make $700 a week, you know. And the majority of our business still came 99.9% online. So not only were we having to man a retail shop 50 hours a week, we were still having to keep up. So we ended up making more work for ourselves, right? For literally no more money. And probably if you cut productivity loss into it on the time we spent manning the shop,
upside down,
we probably lost money on the store. So we decided to disband that. And then right about that time, Felix, the knife maker guy, had made a tomahawk for a veterans charity that they were doing, and they were going to auction it off. Ended up auctioning it off online, and it brought a ridiculous amount of money. But in that making of it process, he made this tomahawk. We built a target behind the shop out of 4x4s and started throwing that tomahawk just in the 4x4s for fun. And before you knew it, we were throwing barbecue forks and, you know, just having
anything sharp.
Everything.
We had little barbecues out there, and people would literally just show up with sharp stuff to throw and stick at it. And then, you know, we disbanded the shop, and I got fortunate enough to get an offer to buy my beard company from one of my former brand ambassadors in Indianapolis. And he had come into some money and wasn't happy at his job. He was actually bottling water at a plant in Indianapolis and didn't like it, wanted to do his own thing. And we kind of came to terms. I sold the beard company, but I liked that space so much, I didn't want to give it up, right? It felt like it could be something cooler. Right. And I'd actually drawn up plans to turn it into a cigar lounge. I was in the process of going to turn it into a cigar lounge.
Even at that time, it was a really good deal.
Absolutely.
For the location.
The lease that we got is an amazing deal to be right on Main Street in a town like Jinx. So I thought, it would be great for a cigar lounge. Right there, you know, had to do the high-end bourbons and the cigars and all that jazz.
Yep.
Around that same time, another friend of mine, Dr. Dan Langley, who is my current business partner in Got Wood Axe Throwing, had saw axe throwing at Oktoberfest, just doing it old school style in the tree stumps, you know, and was kind of enamored with it. And he came to me and was like, "Hey, have you seen this axe throwing?" I was like, well, I mean, we've done it, but didn't realize it was an actual thing, you know,
right?
A business. So we started looking at it, and he kind of pushed me into it by basically throwing his Platinum American Express card at me and saying,
"You get that?"
Yeah, he said, "Go get what we need to get started." And me and my buddy Jacob and him went to Lowe's.
To see that, like,
loaded up the truck at Lowe's with our first little amount of wood, and my buddy Jacob my buddy Jacob clapped his hands and said, "Well, we got wood, let's get to work." And I was like, "That's the name.
Got
right
wood,
there.
that's it."
Perfect. So it literally all happened within the span of 2 days. We went from not knowing what I was going to do to building an axe throwing range. And I'd never done it professionally or you know, anything.
Or even non-professionally.
Absolutely amazing.
So, I mean, that's how it started. And again, timing in an emerging market really played good, because at that time there was one that opened in Oklahoma City. Dallas and Kansas City were the two next closest ones. There was another guy, turns out, that had the same idea and was opening one in Tulsa around the same time. His name's Chance Hawkins with Angry Axe.
Whoop, whoop.
We actually end up collaborating on a tournament later that we can talk about whenever. But
Are you talking about Angrywood?
I am talking about Angrywood.
The major axe throwing tournament held in Tulsa, Oklahoma every October?
Yes.
Is that what you're referring
wink.
to?
Hint, hint,
That
wink, wink.
should
Yes.
be a yes.
But yeah, just
That's amazing.
timing a lot, and then I've always gone about my marketing and delivery
You just got to be
With-
that like
with-
timing, like
just pure
Hey,
physical
I'm doing
force.
this.
I don't have a plan. Surprising, but
What?
I literally just punch
No,
people in
same
the face
thing.
until they pay attention to me.
Yeah, I think
Metaphorically
that's-
and not
right.
Yeah,
realistically.
sometimes,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. So, and that's kind of. I mean, we met. You came in as a customer, right?
Mhm.
I wasn't even there the first time you guys came in. I was,
No.
Yeah,
It was
that's
St.
pretty-
Patrick's Day 2018. Is that right?
Ish. Yeah.
And you guys came in, and I was actually in Washington with my wife, but you and your brothers came in to throw it and kind of liked it. And
Yeah, we came in. It was one of my brothers. It was late February, actually,
I thought it
or
was
early March, because it was right before St. Patty's. And then we did come back. One of the
Came
first
back
times we
for
came
St.
back.
Patty's?
Yeah. But yeah, we kept coming in, and you and I began talking. And you can't smoke that in here, right?
I'm not doing it. So
I mean,
I'm just watching you. So
I hope you do, because I want to see Lauren tackle you. Yeah, so we did that, and after coming in a couple times, being able to talk, I think I started not trying to sell you, but talking to you about who's doing your stickers, who's doing your shirts, who's doing your hats, and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
And we just
it
kind of
was
progressed
quick.
from there.
I remember us talking like, "Yep, we're doing this." So
Yeah. So that's, and you can see how we're building these stories, right? We're telling from where we came from and then how we came together, and that's it. So on my side, I spent about 12 years in the commercial print industry and working for large brokerages. And I feel what you're saying with the brokerage. It was obviously in a different industry, but still a brokerage.
yeah.
So you're just doing a service. So all we did was we committed to our clients that we could save them money on what they were buying. And it could have been anything from, flyers, brochures, big signs, any of that kind of stuff. And you are the face. You are the one throat to choke. That's what you are. And so your job. That's it. No, that's the selling point, man. That's what I always said.
Great way to say it.
It's like a one point of contact for everything you're buying from a marketing standpoint.
right.
It's a great selling point. So,
Well,
but I feel
that's-
you, because you're doing
how it
that
is.
and you're trying to beat down your vendors for price to get the best cost, but you're still relying on them. So it puts you in a really tough situation a lot of times. So yeah, I totally felt that when you said that. But I did that and then left there, went to work for my brother-in-law, spent a couple of years doing that. And then some of my old colleagues and clients kept calling.
Right.
So we did that. We went into that and started building that. And that's the B&B marketing execution.
Right.
From there, we just did that. And then it was when it's on you're selling at all times.
I think I'm not gonna say it got weird, but we're like, hey, gotta do this. Yep, I got it. And I was, I guess that was weird.
Do you know what he's talking about?
have you ever seen that clip?
No,
on
I
social
got
media
weird.
of that
I'm like,
little
hey,
kid
Brad.
telling the story, and he's like,
Ever had a dream that
"Have you seen that clip? I wish we could pull
Yeah,
it up."
it's like, hey, Brad,
and
I
he
got.
starts just rambling on. And
We
he
need to
never
be
says a
able to.
word.
Hey, and you guys will see this. But I go, hey, Brad.
Have you ever wanted to, and you just thought you could, and you think you might, and
Brad,
really wanted to
dude,
be,
these
but you couldn't?
two
and
shirts.
That's the way, yeah.
F you guys. So, all right, I'm not gonna say anything. Me and Mermaid,
yeah.
he knows what he's doing. So
Yeah, we started doing that, and then kind of went into to working with you guys, and you guys were two of my kind of primary
close,
clients early on when we started it. I had a couple of others that were spending a ton of money in other areas, but it was kind of older marketing, older media.
right,
As we were moving in and kind of figuring which direction the company should go. And we bought a screen press. My brother and I bought a screen press and literally learned how to screen print. And I say he literally learned how to screen print. And then I would come in and we were in my garage. That's where we started it. And
this was Connor?
Yeah, it was Connor, my brother Connor. And I would try to do things, the cone bone, try to do things, and he would just look at me with this. You know how like when you got in trouble, it's like you're not getting a spanking, but your dad's really disappointed. Connor mastered that look. He was like, "What are you doing?"
100%.
He's like, literally, just go back in and go be pretty somewhere. Do your thing. Don't touch this. That's mine. Don't touch that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we figured that out, and again, he figured that out.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of expanded. We kept going, and when a client needed something, we used to outsource stickers, and then there were so many stickers that we bought a 9-foot vinyl printer.
Yeah.
So we did that. Again, why that is, I could never consider that a bad decision. Is the turning point for me in my career was now I get to hang out with people I like or work with people I like, right?
Yeah, no.
And I get to choose it. And you have to.
We hate each other, but hey, we know that.
No. But
on Mondays we're gonna come hang out.
But look at my clients. My clients are breweries, retail, recreation, so fun stuff, right? Axe throwing, and
crazy fun stuff that we could.
Yeah. So it's a great thing, and you know, again, let's tie this into the name, right?
Right.
Money walks. Okay, so we're all entrepreneurs here, and I would say
we do a lot of
serial entrepreneurs,
yeah.
Right? So between us, we have brewery, marketing 100%. Firm, axe throwing,
right?
Men's grooming product. Shout out Summit Grooming.
Yeah, Summit.
Morningwood Coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta smile. Do the lips. Do the lips. You gotta do the lips. Where's Lauren? Hey, we need Lauren to do the lips next time. Lauren, can you be our lips for the Summit Grooming product? So we have a coffee brand. So all these things, Toro knives.
Yeah.
You guys have knives. I mean, they're everything. And we had a huge conversation earlier with an amazing idea that we're looking at doing too.
Right.
So it's a spirit, I think. And the thing about that, as we've all seen and we've kind of talked about a little bit, is if you're an entrepreneur, you want to get out there and you want to take your swing, you want to do your thing.
Yeah.
Don't expect to just have the money just being rained down upon you.
You have.
We've watched a lot of money. We've watched a lot of money go bye-bye. Right. And that's from any number of things. One, not knowing what the hell you're doing.
Right.
And that's fine. You can do something without knowing what it is to start.
That happens. Yep.
It's making mistakes.
Yep.
You will make mistakes. We've
100%.
all made mistakes and continue to do so.
100%.
They're just all these things. So it takes money to start something up, and we've all seen that. And it doesn't always come back to you, but if your heart's in it,
it takes
you
a lot
keep
of
pushing.
bullshit to make it work.
It does
bullshit
lot of bullshit.
talks.
So that's
there it all.
That is
full circle. We just
right
came
there.
full circle.
That is, gentlemen.
End. Episode 1 done.
So
I
that is it right there. Bullshit talks. So why we want to say bullshit talks is we've been there, done that. We've done crazy deals. We've done, hey, I'll give you $5. I mean, this, yeah. That's all bullshit.
Hand job?
No, I have not done
What's
that.
$5 worth to you?
But our three companies is
He
like,
didn't
hey
answer.
guys, we are
It's not a no.
bullshit.
That is not a no.
Bullshit's there because we're gonna. Hey, how we all fucking know each
Well,
other.
we're also here's what these are. They asked us like, what are your topics? What is the goal? What are you talking about?
Right.
And we're like, we just want to bullshit. We want to entertain people.
Dudes talking that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like everyday business owner.
And there's not a ton of. All right, so some of the guests we've talked about and we've booked.
Yeah,
we've got everything from UFC fighter.
Yeah,
some great designers and manufacturers of
absolutely
knives.
Right, knives. Yeah. And video dudes.
Yeah, we have some very, very strong creatives. We have really strong business people in this community, and they're also creatives. They're musicians, right?
100%.
Austin's whole side is very artistic and from the music side of things. So I think we'll definitely see some of that. So as you can see, we're all over the place, but we're going to bring some pretty amazing ideas, some amazing content. And I think some of these people are going to say some things that really strike. And even us, we're not coming to you with all the answers, but I think some of these people we're having on,
100%.
we're going to throw questions at them or just talk about stuff, and there may be light bulbs, and I hope to work with some of these people. That's why we're bringing them on.
We'll do something different than people are used to. Hey, I'm used to this. Oh, I need this. Hey, I need a fat kid.
I really like the sunglasses.
I
kind of hope to put a little touch of realism on it too, because entrepreneurship, especially in social media, and you have all these influencers, right, and all these gurus, these self-help gurus, and all that. Which I'm not saying anything.
And there's
bad
nothing.
about.
Yeah,
no,
you have to use social media.
Right. But it's all glorified, right?
Absolutely.
It all has a price tag associated with it.
No.
That you need to put pressure on yourself. By the time you're 30, you have $1 million in the bank or whatnot, and that's very unrealistic. I think what makes your story. I mean, you went from making and liking beer to I'm going to steamroll myself into a full-time brewery position, right? I mean,
hefty. You went balls deep, as they say.
My story's a lot more convoluted and kind of searching for where I needed to be.
But I'm sorry for not doing that. But
no, not at all.
No, and that's commendable. And I was going to say, success comes in different ways for different people, and it means different things to different people.
You know the crazy thing? So you're talking about that, and I'm figuring out because I'm listening to your story, sort of. I'm just playing Austin.
We're all three different,
yes.
What success, it means something different for me.
Absolutely.
To everybody.
You got older kids,
but just your story, and I'm like, wait, what's my story? And I know obviously my history, but I feel more like,
do we have a story now?
I feel like what I do, and it's not even like, oh man,
we don't need a story now.
I make knives, or I make this product, or I'm really good at moving raw materials. It's not that.
Right.
Me, I'm like, I feel like glue, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like downplaying that because I love being that person because it gives me opportunities like this, or opportunities for all the people we're bringing on, right? Mesh with all those people, right? And I feel really good about that, and I feel good about what we've got going.
We could bring a diverse.
You're eclectic.
I'm not dying.
You're definitely not diverse.
2 minutes, he's like, goddamn, please stop talking. So,
well, he was supposed to give you the hook 35 minutes ago. So I don't know. Mike's getting docked.
He's gonna make it sound cool. So,
hey, by the way, shout out to Mike. Mike's a badass. Mike, what's your social media stuff? We want to, because it's badass. I've seen it.
Hey, Mike, let's go.
If you can't get such a big bump from this right here, you don't even know.
Let's go smoke a joint. So.
Lucky.
It says Mosaic Productions. I'll put it right on there.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So we got 2 minutes. I thought we'd been
because he's
about to blow up.
I knew we'd be
booking right now for 2022.
Forever, but
it's kind of like Post
we
Malone
got a minute
Ozzy Osbourne
45.
on the map.
So.
He's going. He's going.
Much the same. Yes. How do we wrap these up? How are we going to wrap it up?
Austin goes to smoke a cigaret. And
he just walked. How would he also throw your glass?
He's smoking fart right
so
now.
Guys, hey.
He's like, I've had to fart 15 minutes, and I need to smoke a cigarette. Let's wrap this shit up.
We got a little bit left here.
Mike's like, we do?
See.
We're fine.
Okay. Hey, bullshit.
We've got a solid 3 minutes of content.
Let's do our first content. So, hey, bullshit.
No, you say it.
No, say it. So,
and you started the wrong way.
Yeah.
No.
Money
is
the root of all evil.
Oh. Money walks, bullshit talks. So let's do that. We're all gonna do one here. So
He's like, I have equipment for
I'm
this,
like,
right?
all right, guys.
You don't have to do
He's
the
like, I
echo.
want to hit a button.
No, I don't have a button, but this is
Mike's like, God, 35 seconds and I get to leave. I can't wait. Oh, hey,
So-
also shout out to Lauren Paul and LA Productions.
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, yes. So we are shooting this in LA Productions. It's an
That's true.
amazing studio.
Again, nowhere now. This shit's gonna
Yeah.
put it
We're
on
doing
there.
as soon
we
as
got
I mean,
16 seconds.
can you say
so-
viral?
So viral.
What do we? All right. So I hated the nuts.
So
How do
money
we
walks.
break it though.
Money walks. Bullshit talks. So yeah.
No, no nuts. No more
we'll
nuts.
fair-
Thursday
we're gonna- hey,
on NBC.
first time ever.
We're blowing it up.